To be resilient, you have to build mental toughness. When I was going through the Navy SEAL training, there was a great mentor of mine, Navy SEAL Master Chief Will Guild, who taught me a really important mental toughness technique called segmenting. Now, segmenting is a fancy word for taking something that's really big, looks really scary, and breaking it down into really small and attackable pieces. And we saw at the hardest moment of the hardest week of the hardest military training in the world, why segmenting was so important. So what happened was we were going through Hell Week, and Hell Week is considered to be the hardest week of the hardest military training in the world. And over the course of that week, they've got you doing things like physical training on the beach with logs that weigh several hundred pounds. They have you running races with your teams in and out of the ocean. They have you running the obstacle course, running down the beach, swimming in the ocean. It's a week of intensive physical training. And the hardest moment of that week comes at the beginning of the second night. So for a lot of people, their adrenaline carries them through the first night, carries them through the next, and then we arrived at the beginning of the second night, and you're thinking to yourself, I am more tired and more exhausted and more beaten than I have ever been in my entire life. And what happened then was that the instructors brought everybody out, and they had us watch on the beach as the sun was setting. And as the sun was going down, the instructors came out, and they got on their bullhorns, and they said, say goodnight to the sun. And we're all watching the sun go down. Tonight is going to be the worst night of your lives. We're all watching the sun go down. And I can remember I was standing there and I saw out of the corner of my eye that something broke in the class. And people started running for the bell, running for it. And you could hear it going off ding, 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 as people quit our class. Now, what was amazing was, after all of the difficult things that they'd asked us to do in the SEAL team training, swim 50 meters underwater, swim down 50 feet and tie a knot, tie your feet together and your hands behind your back and make you jump in the pool. Who would have thought that the hardest moment of the hardest week, of the hardest military training in the world, would come when all they had actually asked us to do was to stand on the beach and watch the sunset? But what happened then, and what happened throughout the training, was that what made people quit was when they were thinking about how hard something was going to be, how painful something was going to be, how difficult something was going to be. What Master Chief Will Guild taught us was, all you can do to be courageous is to master this moment. That's all you can do. So be strong, be focused on doing what you need to do right now. And if you build that mental habit of segmenting, and you build that kind of toughness, you'll become more resilient.